Hi everyone! Welcome back to my channel. I'm officially calling you guys Cam Fam now, so hi Cam Fam! If you haven't subscribed to my channel and you're not part of Cam Fam yet, then please make sure to click that subscribe button and that bell button so you're always notified whenever I have new videos like this one. Okay, so for today's video, I'm gonna be doing one of your most requested ever, not just here on my vlog, but also on my Instagram. Every time I post photos over on my Instagram or over on my vlog, you guys always leave me comments asking how I pose. Like, teach us your ways, senpai. So here it is. This vlog is gonna be all about how I pose, some tips and tricks of how you can accentuate your assets and, you know, hide your flaws. How to make you look leaner, longer, slimmer, and just to get your best angles. So this is my personal go-to poses whenever I do my OOTDs or just, you know, random things on my Instagram. Because, you know, no one's perfect unless you're Miss Universe, but no one's perfect. Everyone has flaws, everyone has no bad angles. So here we are. I am here to help you to adjust our imperfections to make us seem like we're close to perfect. Just close to perfect now. Anyway, when it comes to shooting your OOTDs, most of the time we go for full body shots. One of the major don'ts is don't just stand there not creating any shape or form. I mean, unless that's what you're going for. If you're going for the androgynous, I don't care, Billie Eilish look, then that's fine. But if you're not, it always helps if you create some shape by popping your hips out. Don't be afraid to exaggerate your hips. I know sometimes it feels weird, but on the camera it doesn't look weird. So just do a little pop of the hip. If you're sitting or standing, just a little bit pop. And then also try to play around with your leg position. Put one leg closer to the camera where the camera is shooting from. This way, you're able to elongate your legs and you make it look like you're longer. That's why whenever you see vloggers, when they stand, one leg is always out. It's as if someone is ready to like so just put one leg out. You can do like a leg apart position. One leg is more forward, apart. And if you want your legs together, then you can still do it. Push one leg forward and do a little like hip pop, and then you're good to go. Perfect for dresses with slits. Always make sure as well that your toes are pointed. So whatever leg is in front or whatever leg is near the camera, then point that toe so that you can again elongate your legs even more. If you want to tiptoe and if you want to do pointy toes on both legs, that's fine as well. That also helps a lot, makes you look like you're from 5'2" to 5'7". Since we're already on the topic of elongating your legs and making it look like you're taller, it also helps if your camera is shooting from a low angle. So if your photographer is shooting you from a higher angle, then for sure you're gonna look so much shorter than your actual height. If your photographer is shooting from like a straight on angle, then that's fine. But if you want to look longer, make your photographer sit down, do the crouching tiger, shoot from a lower angle, and ta-da! You're suddenly America's Next Top Model. Since we've already tackled the lower part of your body, when it comes to your other limbs, I'm sure if you're not used to posing in front of the camera, you'd feel so weird, like what do I do with my hands, what do I do with my arms? It always helps if you separate your arms from your upper torso. You can accentuate your waist, you'll be able to show your figure, because if you put your hands just close together and just like all connected to your waist area, then you won't really see any shape at all, so it's not gonna be the most flattering. You look so stuffy, as opposed to just, you know, separating your arms away from your waist area. So you can put one hand on your waist, or you can put both hands on your waist. You can do like different positions. This is so much more flattering to your body figure than just putting your limbs all like this, scrunched up and like squished. You can experiment with different arm positions and hand positions. These are just a few of my tips just so you can have a more flattering figure on cam, because the camera really does add 10 pounds. So here I am, I'm gonna show you how I pose with my upper body when it's frontal and how I do it on like when my photographer is shooting from the side. And then once you're comfortable with the leg position, the hip hop, the limbs and your upper body, then you can do so much more. Just play around with different positions. You can experiment. You can put like hand on your hair, hand on your head, hand on waist, hand on pockets. If you've got pockets, then use that. Pay attention to your clothing, like whatever you're wearing. Try to showcase that. Make sure your thumb is out if all 4 fingers are inside the pocket, or you can also do your thumb in and all 4 fingers out. It's just weird if all your fingers are inside the pocket, so make sure it's not like that. And you can also do like a cross arm, like what I usually do. Play around with your shoulders, pop a little bit. Just, it's all about creating different shapes, just so you don't look so stuffy, and just so you can show a bit more of like an S figure. A huge part of what makes your photo picture perfect is also your surroundings or your backdrop. So make sure that you pay attention to your surroundings. Try to make the most out of what you see around the area. So for example, if there's a wall, then use that wall. If that wall is interesting, well, the wall I'm showing you right now is not that interesting, but just so you can imagine. So use that wall, and you could just stand in front of that wall. What I see a lot of people doing is that they try to like stand so close to the wall, which from the camera's perspective, it doesn't really create definition or dimension. So it's much better if you stand a few steps away from the wall so that you create some sort of dimension from you and the wall. It's not like you're all flat. Especially if you're using a camera that has like a low aperture, then it's so much better if you're closer to the camera and the wall is just right behind you, like a few steps behind you and not so close together. You can also pose by leaning on the wall from your side. So you could just lean on the wall and your photographer can shoot you from the side of the wall and not like across the wall. So that's also a nice thing that I usually like to do. So whenever you see, let's say, a pole or let's say a tree, try to lean on the tree, do different types of positions just so there's some interaction between you and your surroundings. This way, it makes it look more natural and more, yeah, natural. If there's a chair, if there are steps, then yeah, go ahead, sit down, post there, do whatever you want. Just so, again, it looks more natural. You're one with your environment. So because I am a fashion blogger, most of my poses are really for showcasing my OOTD. Pay attention to what you're wearing so that you're able to showcase your outfit the proper way. So if, for example, you're wearing a dress or a maxi skirt and it's flowy, then just flip that skirt. If you have pockets, put your hands in the pocket. If you have, let's say, flowy sleeve, then try to like do some actions with your hands. So pay attention to the details of your outfit. I'm sure that you guys always see me flipping my skirt whenever I'm wearing a maxi skirt or a dress with a slit or like a really flowy dress. So a lot of you are also wondering if it's a blogger Joe or Instagram husband or Instagram boyfriend that's responsible for my flipping of my skirt. Actually, no. Most of the time, it's really just me who's responsible for that skirt flipping. I have mastered it. Just do a little twisting action as you flip on the skirt. You don't have to go all around and do like a 360 turn. No need for that. Just small movements, small purposeful movements will get you that shot. I mean, it's so much harder for your photographer to get the shot if you've got so much movement going on. So it's so much easier, especially for us amateurs, to get that shot by just doing like a small twist like this. Small twist flip. Small twist flip, and then let go of that skirt really quickly. Also in your fingers actually when you do that. So try to be as graceful as possible so that when the camera or the photographer catches that shot, your hands are not like Just try to be soft. As you get the hang of that skirt flipping, you can do more. Like you can just try to raise your hand when you flip. You can go more adventurous, more dynamic with your poses. It doesn't always have to look like you're halfway through walking, you know? I also do a lot of walking shots when it comes to OOTDs, just so it looks more natural. My trick for this, even for shoots, I don't do the full-on walk. Like I don't walk all the way to the photographer, because then there would be a lot of awkward shots like that, or like my body's like weird. What I usually do is just doing a 1-2 step, like love it, and now 1-2 step. Everybody 1-2 step. We are about to get... Okay, anyways, so I just usually do like a 1-2 step so that it's easier for the photographer to catch the right moment. It's also easier for me to control my movement, my expression, my outfit. So just 1-2 step. So just 1-2 step. Just pay attention to the hip popping as well. It's easier also for you to pop your hips when it's just the 1-2 step. And it's easier for you to control your arms. Don't stiffen up. Just make sure that your arms are moving. Opposite arms and leg. If it's your left foot forward, then it's your right arm upward. Does that make sense? Yeah. So there. But you can also do like a side view walking shot. At least for me, I feel like it looks more flattering and I feel like my legs look longer if the leg that's closer to the camera is the one that's moving forward, as opposed to the leg that's closer to the camera and that's the one at the back. It just looks much better in the hip area and the legs. For sitting shots, I think it depends highly on what you're wearing. If you're wearing something feminine, it's a dress, it has a slit, then it's always nicer if you have your legs close together. Just make sure they're on different levels. They're not just like, you know, flat and on the same position. Play around with your leg position. One is higher, one is lower. Do a little hip hop. Make sure your toes are again pointed, and just makes everything look leaner, as I've said. If you're wearing something edgier, then you can go like legs apart, but again, make sure your legs are on different levels just to create a different kind of shape and it doesn't look as stagnant or it doesn't look as boring. When you're doing a sitting shot and you're in a swimsuit or a bikini, what I like to do is to always, my number one rule is to try to cover your jewels. So that's why I always try to cross my leg, or I put a hand in front of my leg, so I could do like the one knee up and one knee is like sideways, and then I just put my hand in the middle or something just to cover my jewels. When it comes to the camera angle for shooting sitting positions, then try to shoot again from a higher angle, farther away, closer to the tip of your legs, so that it makes your legs look longer. Because if you're shooting right above you, like right here, then it makes everything else look small and your upper body and your face big. But if you shoot a bit further away, closer to the tip of your legs that are stretched out, then your legs are closer to the camera, so again, your legs look longer and everything else looks smaller. If you're shooting, let's say, a swimsuit shot and it's straight on, then that's fine as well. Just make sure it's eye level, it's the same level as you, and it's not lower, higher. It's nicer if you shoot eye level. And so we've already tackled the OOTD shots. When it comes to doing face shots, it's always important to pay attention to where the photographer is shooting from. So for example, well, I think a lot of people already know that when the camera is higher than the face or the eye level, then it does tend to make your face smaller as opposed to shooting from below, because hello, accidental opening of the self camera, right? You can see it, like everything's already there. It looks so much bigger. If the photographer is shooting from a higher angle, then that's fine. Your face looks smaller. It's much more flattering. If it's shooting from the same eye level, then just play around and tilt your head a bit lower. If your photographer again goes lower and lower and lower, make sure you adjust your face's angle. So you just try to go lower as well, because if you keep your precision like this, then all of this looks bigger than how it looks in real life. So again, make sure you pay attention to where the photographer is shooting from. And then just make small movements, small, very tiny movements every now and then. It may feel like they're just tiny movements, but it's a huge difference when it comes to face shots, because your photographer is just shooting your face, so every small movement helps. And this way, you can also find what angle really suits your facial features, what doesn't. One of the main things that professional photographers will always ask you to do whenever you're doing photo shoots with them is to part your lips. So don't just put your lips together like this. Part your lips. It creates a nicer aura. I don't know how to explain it, but it just looks so much better. It doesn't have to be a big... It makes it look more relaxed. It makes it look more natural as opposed to doing where it feels like you're doing a 1x1 ID photo, because you're not doing that. You're doing a shoot, so... It just makes it look gentler if you part your lips, just a little bit. You can also pout if you want. Not like that, but anyways, you get the picture. And then put your hands in there. You could play with your hair, you could touch your lips, you can just, you know, just small, again, movements. Just go around your face, go around your shoulders, collarbones, and then play with your hair. It's just all about that. Because at least for me, I find it weird when it's just my face and my hands are not doing anything. So that's why if you look at my selfies, my hands are always somewhere, or like I'm trying to play around with my hair or something. So it just makes the moment less awkward. It helps me, so I hope it helps you. So those are my tips for how to pose, and also a little bit on how to shoot for your OOTD photos and your like face shots. If there's anything else that I wasn't able to tackle, then just leave me a comment below and I'll try my best to answer them. Or if there's anything that confused you or I wasn't able to explain well, I am just human after all. I am imperfect. I will try to explain it again on the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up if you like this video. My last tip for you guys, by the way, I forgot, is that practice makes perfect. I mean, for me, when I started doing OOTD shots for my vlog, I wasn't always comfortable in front of the camera. I was too shy. I didn't want to post whenever there's someone looking. I didn't know if I was doing it correctly. I didn't know if I was making a fool out of myself. As I went along and I kept practicing and I kept doing what I do, I just got used to it, and I started to see what works and what doesn't work. So if you're too shy to practice with a friend or with a photographer, then just do it in front of the mirror. Just do mental notes and you'll get the hang of it in no time. I'm sure you can do it. Don't be shy. Unleash your confidence. Embody Beyonce. And with that, I say goodbye. See you in my next vlog.